bell goes loud, and then a couple of persons will know, you know what, I think it's the next day, and I think it's time for us to actually get out there and do something for ourselves. But yeah, well, this time, I mean, modernization, civilization, and we have our different pointers as to what, wakes us up and gets us ready. I mean, not even forgetting the alarm on our phones. Yeah, that's right. And for some of y'all that have a very smart digital, a wristwatch, yeah, that also works, right? And for some, it's the cries of the baby. When the baby cries, man, you just know, you know what, this is the time. I'm gonna be awake, but whatever works for you is what you should indeed embrace. But another thing that I want to sound as a motivation for you this morning is, have you ever had the feeling of having the support of your loved one? Maybe you're just doing what you know how to do, and they're sitting there or lying there or listening somewhere, to what you do and all of that. Or sometimes they come and take a sneak peek just to watch you, not because they were suspecting you, not because you're being unfaithful, right? They just want to see you, but without really telling you, because they miss you that much, and they don't want to seem as though they are clouding your space, you understand, your private space, right? For all the loved ones that do this, I mean, we appreciate you. Take this. And to those that are doing it right now, we appreciate you. Take this. Right? It does feel good to welcome you to a Wednesday. I mean, it's the 9th day in the month of October 2024. And yes, if I greeted you in the way that I know how to, oh no, I've not done that. Let me do that already. I would say Nakwane Karon Dewonu. I would say Agife. I would say Olodudu. In my dialect, I would say I'm Messiere. And finally, in the language that you and I understand, universal language, Una, good morning. My name is Uduak Daniel, and this is your morning booster. It is a breakfast show. It is the Eagles Morning Risers breakfast show. And yes, this is the pages where we get to look into the newspaper review and, of course, review the front pages of the newspapers that you get to let me know which of them, jumps at you, pops at you, tickles your fancy, or begs for your reaction. But you must do that in the most civil and responsible way. I say this a lot because that's the truth. We have to be civil and responsible in all that we do. Right. That being said, there are some things that you ought to know, and it is using my voice that I would use to tell you some of these things. But then after that, of course, we jump into the daily straight away. Right. The Federal Capital Territory FCT Minister Nyesom Wike on Tuesday had attributed the mayhem in Rivers State to Governor Siminalayi Fubara's disobedience of court order. Now, in a national television interview, Wike alleged that Fubara once admitted that Rivers was turning to state where the rule of law is not obeyed. Oh, I see. But then the Supreme Court is set to determine the powers of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to investigate states. Right now, it has scheduled a hearing for October 22. 16 state governments are challenging the constitutionality of the law establishing the EFCC. All right, so that is something right there. They're joining Kogi State, and they are indeed beginning to ask questions and probe the law, the very law that brought about the EFCC. And I don't think the ICPC is also very, very, safe in this regard. But yeah, we'll see the outcome of that one. October 22 is the date. Now, the Minister of State's Petroleum Oil, Senator Henneken Loklobiri, said the nation is expecting $50 billion investments in the sector before the end of the year. Okay. Now, he also announced audacious plans to increase the nation's oil output to about 2.7 barrels per day. Okay, now the minister hinted of a total deregulation of the petroleum downstream sector, saying it is the way to attract investment. And I say, okay, right, because all the okays is about the fact that, just like you always say, all of these are future plans, plans that, if you like, you want to call it audio plans, because most of the time we just hear these things, but does it really come to fruition? Well, you and I have got the answer, but this is not me being negative. I mean, some positivity can also, do some help, right? They say the positive mind is always the achieving mind. But let's go to this one now. A comprehensive comprehensive nationwide nutrition program aimed at addressing malnutrition and food insecurity was on Tuesday launched by the Vice President. Oh, all right. Now, this called the Nutrition 774 Initiative. I think this one is going to be about the 774 local governments, that we have across. Okay, right. Anyways, now this was endorsed by the National Economic Council, NEC, seeking to improve nutritional outcomes across all the 774 local government areas. I said it before, and they brought it out there. They proved me right. But let's also let you in on the fact that the federal government, through the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, has commenced the process of appointing new permanent secretaries to fill vacancies in 8 states. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Now, that memo from the OHCSF was signed by the head of Civil Service of the Federation, D.D. Walson-Jack, on October 7, 2024, and that indicated that officials currently undergoing disciplinary procedures were barred from applying for the positions of permanent secretaries. Right? Is that a step in the right direction? Okay. Well, the Independent National Electoral Commission has said it will today being a Wednesday, make available to the People's Democratic Party, PDP, electoral materials for the September 21 Edo State governorship poll. Okay. For all of y'all that have been talking about it from the PDP, angle, well, they say by September 21, you will have all of the material so you can go through it. Now, the Resident Electoral Commission for Edo State, Dr. Agbom Onoha, disclosed this on Tuesday amid complaints of delay by the PDP. But why wait till September 21? I mean, when was the election already? I think sometime around August now. And then you'll wait until September 2021, August 21 rather, to get that, out. Right? I don't get where that's coming from. But anyways, whatever that may be, let's just hope that it's in good faith and it's not a misrepresentation of the date. But then Justice Abiola Sholadoye of the Ikeja Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Court on Tuesday sentenced the head teacher, Benjamin Oba, to life imprisonment for defiling 2 underage girls who are both 7 years old. Really? Now, the judge held that the prosecution proved the case beyond a reasonable doubt with the ingredients of defilement to the court's satisfaction. How do I even gain satisfaction from that? I mean, I don't even want to hear it. No. Okay. What did they give him again? Let me see. Okay. Sentenced the head teacher, life imprisonment. I hope they add hard labor to it. Well, an Ondo-based man, Mr. Demola Adeola, has called on the state government to investigate the circumstances surrounding the death of his mother and 4 children following an alleged food poisoning. Well, his mother, Mrs. Esther Adeola, and 4 grandchildren reportedly died after drinking liquid pap at home in Oke Aro, Akure, Ondo State on Saturday. Well, that should be really investigated, really, because it's becoming unbecoming and it's an alarming, state. Well, Rivers State Governor, though, Siminalai Fubira, warned on Tuesday that oil production in the state will be threatened if there was any further violence or attacks in the state. Okay, is he talking to someone or some people or a group of people? I don't know. The governor also said his administration will not fold its arms and watch sponsored political thugs run berserk and commit arson in the state. Take it from a governor that is speaking power. Right. But anyways, let's bring you this one right now. The Senate has asked President Bola Tinubu to direct the immediate dredging of rivers Niger and Benue as part of preventive measures against flooding. It's about that time, though. Now, the House also asked the president to facilitate dredging of both rivers in the 2025 budget. All right. Now, that being said, let's get into the front pages now of Nigerian newspapers. Keep in mind that this is Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, where we give you an audio, visual, radio experience that you can count on anytime, any day. Right. We see a couple of dailies now. Let's start with the Guardian newspaper. It doesn't really seem so busy, but yes, quite a number of, headlines surfaced on the front page with the map of Nigeria itself. itself. I don't know why, but let's take the big story. Maybe it's going to serve as an eye-opener to the map. Well, it says anxiety as federal government commits states funds to special development commissions. All right, I should take it again. Anxiety as federal government commits states funds to special development commissions. Page 6 is carrying that story, and now here we see the map of Nigeria right there. We see the northwest, the southwest, the north central. We see, quite a number of stuff going on in that one. But yes, page 6 is carrying that, and you might as well want to go see that for yourself. Abuja Court judgment on VIO inapplicable in Lagos government declares. All right, page 4 is carrying that story, and to page 3, looking popular. Looking popular for now. Yes, LP Chieftain urges peace as court affirms Abure's NWC. Wow. LP, that's Labour Party Chieftain, urges peace as court affirms Abure's NWC. And we go to yet another page 3. I told you it was going to be popular. Wike gives condition to end political crisis in Rivers. Wow. He gives condition to end the political crisis in Rivers. Now, Wike is indeed coming out on this one, and he has shown himself as one who is indeed probably behind, the alleged attacks and crisis in River State, because to give a condition to end political crisis, okay, it means you probably know how the story started. But then, page 3 is carrying that one, though. And page 4, following back-to-back, federal government unveils national values charter for nationhood patriotism. All right? And page 8 now, court sentences teacher to life imprisonment for defiling 2 7-year-olds. Oh, I said hard labor, give it to him for the rest of his life, I tell you. Right, and just at the base, I see this one now on page 15. Service disruption imminent as Kogi defies presidential order, seals base stations. Wow. Service disruption imminent as Kogi defies presidential order, seals base stations. Right, you'd find that one on page 15. And now to page 6 now. Airline operators opt to patronize Dangote refinery for jet fuel. All right, that's something good, right? Page 6 is carrying that story. And away from the Guardian newspaper now to the Punch newspaper, looking very busy. The front page, that is the big story. Marketers to begin direct Dangote petrol purchase. Page 2 is carrying that story. It's got one rider to it. New pump price looms as national oil firms moves to dump 99 billion naira monthly subsidy. Okay. Page 2 is carrying that big story. And to page 3, following back to back, and just to the side of the Punch newspaper banner now, you would find this one that says federal government shops for perm sex from 8 states. Right, they're shopping for them, looking out for them. Right, and they also mentioned that those with corruption, or they have some allegation against them, or they have some court cases and all of that, they are all barred. All right, so even if you were eligible in the first place, but because of those scandals, now you are ineligible at this point, so don't even think about it. All right, let's know the people we're dealing with. But let's get on to just above the Punch newspaper banner now. I'm talking about the heights, the apogee, the peak, the zenith of it, the top. Right, you will see this one that says violence. Fubera orders probe. Wike alleges disobedience to court orders. All right, page 2. And to page 14 now. Stop crude for loan deals. Dangote tells government. All right, and to page 3. Oti faction loses as courts declares Abure LP chair. I see. All right, now let's just go to the belly button area of the Punch newspaper now. You find this one, FDI crashes to record low of 29.8 million US dollars. Wow. Okay, and page 22 is carrying that one now. To page 18, NIWA donates safety kits to Niger boat operators. That's right, that's something good though. Give it to them, I tell you. All right, page 7 now. At the base. Federal government 31-member panel to begin talks with ASU. Federal government 31-member panel to begin talks with ASU. All right, and pages 4 and 5. Rescuers comb lagoon for 5 missing boat passengers. 5 missing boats passengers. Can you even try to imagine 5 missing boat passengers? Missing boats passengers, 5 of them. Okay, I don't want to imagine that one though. But South Korean investors planning for Nigerian refineries. Can you hear that? Let me bring that again to you. South Korean investors planning for FOUR. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the type of 4, not FOR. For Nigerian refineries. Federal government is saying that now to us. Page 14 is carrying the stories. Is this not a slap on the Nigerian investors? I mean, some of y'all who are building theirs here and there, you're not even building no refineries. And now South Korean investors planning. Oh, that word planning. Oh, it's in the pipeline. Okay, we get that. Not like they started. But anyways, that is something good, right? Don't you think? But I see the Vanguard newspaper now, and the Vanguard newspaper sees me right back. The big story right now, arson, oil output in Rivers threatened if it doesn't stop there, right? You want to go see the rest of it? But Fubera is making that loud statement with the Vanguard newspaper this Wednesday, October 9 of 2024. Page 5 is carrying the story, though. It's got a couple of writers now. Fubera, architect of Rivers crisis. Wike, that's what Wike is saying now. Fubera is the architect of Rivers crisis, and there's got another writer says arsonists will account for setting local government headquarters ablaze. Another writer vows culprits will be fished out, swears in BP 3 others as commissioners. Rivers government constitutes 7-man judicial commission into arsonists' attacks. And not the last writer now, decries government's penchant for disobeying court orders. And the last writer to that big story now, set to challenge the judicial panel of inquiry. All right, just to the chest region of the Vanguard newspaper now, you'd find this one on page 6. It says 2 soldiers, village head, son, others killed in Boko Haram ambush. I never thought I was going to ever hear of the BH, but now here they are again, and they are causing indeed a mayhem. 2 soldiers, village head, son, others killed in Boko Haram ambush. All right, I see this one on VIO restriction. Abuja court judgment Abuja court judgment not applicable in Lagos. Government is saying that one now. Page 10 is carrying that story. I hope it's not going to cause an issue where those from Lagos and other parts of Nigeria will start running to Abuja. So after all, the VIO restriction is very, very potent on here. So yeah, let's go there. We have safety. But I'm just saying though. But let's go see this one now, just at the naval area of the Vanguard newspaper. 21 feared dead, 11 rescued as boats collide in Lagos. That's really sad. Page 6 carrying that one. And to page 9 now, court orders INEC to recognize Abure as Labour Party's national chairman. All right, flooding. Dredge, Rivers, Niger, Benue now, Senate tells Tinubu, and page 9 is carrying that one. Is really, really looking popular. For the sport lovers now, on page 31, AFCON 2025 qualifier, Eguavoin, upbeat. Super Eagles will beat Libya. Will beat Libya. Just above the Vanguard newspaper banner now, the heights, the apogee, the peak, you would find this one at Doguba. Again, INEC denies PDP Igodalo access to BVAS 7 and other poll items. State government is saying that one. Let me go again. On Doguba, again, INEC denies PDP Igodalo access to BVAS other poll items. All right, state government saying that. Page 12 is going on with that story. Go find it on page 12. And to page 8 now, Nigeria can become refining hub. Dangote saying that. It's got one writer to it though. Local airlines to buy jet fuel only from Dangote refinery. Federal government is saying that. Well, step in the right direction. Feels good, right? And to page 11 now, you would find us one gunman kill 5 in Anambra community, right? That's not a really, really good story to hear. But yeah, you want to go get the big story on it? Okay, go to page 11 with the Vanguard newspaper. And the one that surpasses all, standing very tall, would be CBN assures public on financial system stability, safety of funds. Page 20 is carrying that story. All right, that will be all with the Vanguard newspaper. Are you just tuning in for the first time, or you've been a very attentive listener? Well, this is Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. We give you an audio-visual radio experience that you can count on anytime, any day. Get across social media platforms, and you would find us at Eagles FM Abuja, inclusive of the YouTube channel, which is at Eagles FM Abuja. Do well to subscribe. Do well to give us a like, a following as well, and also make your presence felt as you share. You also comment. We would most absolutely love that. Right, the Nation newspaper now. The big story: 16 states to Supreme Court. Wow. All right, 16 states to Supreme Court. Bar EFCC and FIU from probing our accounts. Bar them. 16 states have spoken to the Supreme Court right now and say, bar EFCC and FIU from probing our accounts. All right? Is this a good story? Is it a good step in the right direction? I don't know. But what is this staring across the Federation? 16 already gone. How many more states would want to throw their weight behind the 16 states in the same crusade? Bar EFCC and FIU from probing our accounts. It's got two writers to it, though. The first one, law on anti-graft agency defective. Second writer, Apex Court fixes October 22 for hearing. That story begins on the front page of the Nation newspaper, continued on page 2 of the Nation newspaper now. It's the big story, by the way. And this one says, Wike blames violence on Fibera's refusal to obey court. Alrighties. One writer follows. Governor sets up commission of inquiry. That story also begins on the front page and continues on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. This one says depositors fund safe in banks, says CBN. Story begins on the front page, continued on page 2, looking popular, if you ask me, by the way, of the Nation newspaper. Now, just above the Nation newspaper banner now, you would find this one. Abure is LP chair. Court rules. All right, that's a decisive one now, page 3, following back to back from page 2. And council boss, Lagos Assembly clash over indefinite suspension. Page 5 carries the story. Lagos rejects order on VIO. Page 3, looking popular right now. And to this one, 5 dead, 15 rescued in Lagos boats accident. All right, let's go one writer. Vessels not registered. Page 6 carrying the story. Now to page 4 from that sad story to $50 billion investment coming to oil sector, says Lokpoberi. All right, has got one writer to it. Policies attracted investors. Alrighty, and that would be all for the Nation newspaper, but that would be not without me saying this one. Oba of Benin is asking Okpebholo to fulfill campaign promises in Edo State. Well, you might as well want to see page 2 of the Nation newspaper. And okay, so that's about that. All right, let's get to the last daily now, just before we open the phone lines officially, so you can give me your 2 cents on any of the headlines. The Nigerian Tribune newspaper has got one big story and one only. Rivers, obeying rule of law will avert anarchy. All right, and that is coming from Wike himself. It's got 2 writers to it. Fubera sets up 7-man panel to probe arson killings. And second writer, mixed reaction trail. Rivers conflicting court orders. Page 4 is carrying that story. All right, now I see this one is on page 30. Oshun to coordinate federal government's food sufficiency program for Southwest states. All right, Oshun is standing out there and saying, I will do the coordination. All right, that's good for you, Oshun. We hope you coordinate well the entire southwestern states. Okay, so 11 rescued, 5 missing as 2 boats capsize in Lagos. Awful. Page 5 carrying that story. Page 26 now. Zamfara government mourns as bandits kill 9 community protection guard. Zamfara governor mourns as bandits kill 9 community protection guards. All right, page 26, souls rest in peace. All right, carrying that story. just at the base now, supporting the big story, looking jointly big, co-jointly big. 15 states joined Kogi to challenge EFCC Act. All right, it's got one rider to it. Supreme Court fixes October 22 for hearing. All right, page 13, scarring the story. Jebba Dam is currently spilling excess water. Federal government issues fresh alert on flood. Just above the Nigerian Tribune newspaper banner now, you will see this one on page 13. Court affirms Abure as Labour Party national chairman. To page 30 now, judgment on VIO restrictions not applicable in Lagos. Government is saying that. And to page 3 now, Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Umahi threatens to terminate RCC contract, says palliative work to begin on Shagamu-Ijebu-Ode Road Monday. Okay, so that would be all with the front pages this morning, and it will be that time to get to hear from you loudly and clearly and get to know your 2 cents. I mean, let me know how you would react to this one. Let me know, if which of the headlines indeed, jumps at you, or which one pops at you, which one is tickling your fancy, or which one is begging for your reaction. Now, the studio number would be 0907 353 0044. 0907 353 0044, and the WhatsApp portal number is 0909 705 4450. And as I always say, I don't want to hear from only the male. I want to hear from you too, the female, because the rain is not just falling on the male's head, it falls on everybody's head. So you too can let me in, just as BB Blessing does usually. You too as a female, I would love to hear your voice and not to know what you think about this country of Nigeria, country of ours called Nigeria, right? Well, the phone line's beeping already. Let's go take this one. Hello and good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, Selassie.
The man with the golden voice.
Exactly, Selassie, I tell you.
It was nice to hear you this morning. This
pleasure.
My voice won't play. Let me try to see if I can be able to make call.
Who said it won't play? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to comment on this issue of 2 soldiers villagers killed in Borno.
Yes, please.
And we are talking about another 21 fair deaths as boat mishap in Lagos. And we are still talking about government kill 5 in Anambra. Now we are still talking of Zamfara. Governor Mon as bandit killed 9 community guards.
Right.
Hey, it pains me when I hear about what these are avoidable. These are not natural disasters over Udon Daniel.
Right.
We are talking of human life, and this life they have gone and they have gone forever. They will never be back again. Why all this is? As I said before, it's not a natural disaster. Why can't government do the needful in the aspect of protecting life and property of our citizens? Right. How much does it cost to get this life jacket? How much does it cost? I greet Bright, and I greet the listeners and callers of this great radio station. BB Blessing is the wrong that I have from her. I hope all is well. And
yeah, I'm sure she's good.
All listeners, thank you so much.
Right. Thank you, Selassie, for that one. Appreciate that one. I mean, Selassie, you're not the only person rocking this boat. I feel the same too as well. Whenever I hear killings, people who are dying, innocent people who just die, just like that. Some will say like fouls. Yes, I cannot agree any less. But because of some insane movement that many believe we should have been able to have curbed by now. I mean,